Hello, I'm dgerard, and this is the new week of Pivot to AI, coming to you daily. Today, one reason AI images keep looking like that. There's a new paper out. It's called Autonomous Language Image Generation Loops Converge to Generic Visual Motifs. So, AI diffusion models that generate images have just 12 standard templates, and the researchers have found them. What they did is they set up bots talking to bots in a loop. They'd give a prompt to Stable Diffusion XL, it'd make an image, then they'd show the image to Lava and ask it what the image was. Then they'd feed that response back to Stable Diffusion as a prompt for another loop through. And they did 100 rounds of this. You'd have a starting prompt that might be, quote, "The Prime Minister pored over strategy documents, trying to sell the public on a fragile peace deal while juggling the weight of his job amidst impending military action." Unquote. And the first few images would be a guy in a suit with glasses and papers, but it very quickly ended up at an empty red room with high ceilings and 3 windows. They expected the bots to stick more closely with the prompt if it got a very specific prompt, but it didn't. Everything converged on the 12 standard templates, which were, quote, sports and action imagery, cluster 0, formal interior spaces, cluster 1, maritime lighthouse scenes, cluster 2, urban night scenes with atmospheric lighting, cluster 3, Gothic cathedral interiors, cluster 4, pompous interior design, cluster 5, industrial and vintage themes, cluster 6, rustic architectural spaces, cluster 7, domestic scenes and food imagery, cluster 8, palatial interiors with ornate architecture, cluster 9, pastoral and village scenes, cluster 10, and natural landscapes and animals with dramatic lighting, cluster 11. Unquote. A prompt that was not in any of those, the looping ended up back at one of those 12. When they extended to 1,000 loops, the bots might switch to a different template, but they always converged on one of the templates. The 12 templates might be an artifact of Stable Diffusion XL, but they also tried 4 other image generator bots and 4 other image reader bots, and they all showed the same sort of clustering. The researchers called it, quote, visual elevator music, stock photography aesthetics, unquote. Lead author Arendt Hintz says, quote, it's almost the opposite of what we as humans consider creative, unquote. So this isn't too surprising. We know generative AI is just lossy compression of its training. It's designed to put out the most mid result, and it's got its favourite bits of the latent space. But it's nice to nail down why our images seem so standard sometimes. So the good news, this paper doesn't have chatbots doing the heavy lifting. That's humans looking at the results and judging them. And it's obvious all the generators have a few standard templates if you look at the images in the back. They did use a chatbot to generate some of the prompts. They also ran the paper itself through a chatbot for writing clarity. Ew. They also just had to put in this bit of bad philosophy. Quote, this work also raises an interesting question regarding our creative landscape. After all, contemporary AI is a reflection of its training data sets, which in turn are a reflection of our own creative output. What does that convergence on common artistic motives say about us? What? Maybe it says nothing actually about humans who are not the stock image sites the AI is trained on, because we've got talking about 2 piles of matrices altering each other in a loop, trained on what they stole from Getty Images, not the panoply of human creativity. Why did they feel they had to add this paragraph? It feels like someone in the department told them they couldn't just say the AI was trash without some balance. Because there's a ton of money in machine learning these days, and it all comes from the chatbot vendors. So when you're reading a machine learning paper, always look for load-bearing roulette wheels in the actual science bit. And there's going to be a heck of a machine learning replication crisis. Thanks for tuning in to Pivot to AI. It's Christmas time, and I need a break too. So Pivot will be coming out tomorrow and Wednesday. Then it will probably do one next week, and normal service will resume Monday, January 5th. Every time I take a rest, my numbers go not up. So we need your support to keep this show on the road. You know what we say here? Tiny Tim needs shoes, okay? If you look in the show notes, you'll see links to the Patreon for ongoing support, and there's a coffee if you find yourself overflowing with Christmas cheer. Or go to Redbubble and buy t-shirts for everyone for January. I'll thank you all. I will see you tomorrow, and bye for now.